Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Friday. I actually got no idea what date it is. I think it might be the 24th of April. And we are going to I think it's week 4 of lockdown. So we're keeping going, and it's so nice to see everyone here. Welcome to Nicole, coming from Germany. Well, she's coming from England, yeah. So I think today we're going to be on the floor, and we will need some cushions for sitting a bit later. And also a belt will be useful potentially. So it just depends on each person how high you need to be when you're sitting. But we're going to initially go into line. So going to go onto our mat and just lie in a straight line. And now if you find when you lie down that your chin is sticking up into the air, then you want to just bring a cushion under your head, or a folded towel, or a blanket or a rug or something, because you want to have your neck long rather than bent in the middle. Okay, so let's just start off by stretching. So we're going to stretch our legs away, take our arms over our head and just stretch the arms away. And we're breathing. So let's get our ujjayi breath started. We're breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. As we breathe, we imagine that we're taking the breath in through the front of the throat and out through the front of the throat. So it's a slight sound on your inhalation and exhalation. And then as we're stretching, we'll do an extra stretch, right arm, left leg. So we're doing a diagonal stretch across the body. Just notice how good that feels to stretch, and then change sides. So we're doing left leg, right leg, left arm. And first side again. Keep your breathing going. And second side. Lovely. And then let's just do both arms, both legs again. Great. And then relax. Okay, so now we're going to take our right knee and let's hug the right knee to the chest. Take the knee slightly out to the side and then bring it into your chest, and then you can bring it back to the center a little bit. So really hug. And then as we exhale, just see if you can come up, shoulders off the floor, drawing your belly in towards your spine. Just hold for a moment and take a breath in. Exhale, roll up, scoop your belly, hold and down. Roll up, scoop your belly, hold and down. So you're using your leg to help you. Now if you find that you can't, keep going with that. If you find that you can't quite get around your knee, you can always use your belt and then push your knee away slightly, which helps you get up. So you're using your belt around your knee. Lovely, and release. Okay, change side. Holding the left knee, take the knee out to the side, bring it in. Pulling it in close, tuck your shoulders under. Breathing ujjayi breath in through the nose. And then as we go, let's come up again, exhale. So you can slightly push your knee against your arm to come up. Exhale, scoop your belly in towards the spine. So we're just waking up these waking up the core muscles, and also getting a little stretch in the back. Lovely, one more. and release. Good. Okay, now just a little rolly warm up. So we're taking our right knee, but just let it go out to the right. So bringing the right knee up, let it go out to the right. And then we're going to roll it over to the left. So the knee comes over to the left. Then we're going to straighten that leg and just come back onto both buttocks. Bring that right knee up. So it's over to the right. Cross it over across your body. So it's coming over to the left. Then we're straightening the leg and then just roll back on both buttocks with straight legs. So we can keep that going then. Do maybe 5 or 6. Keep the breath going. Nice. Taking that knee out to the side, out to the right, bringing it over to the left, straightening. Feel that warming up in the hips. Great. Lovely, and release. Right, let's try that on the left side now. So we're bringing the left knee up, and then start off with the left knee over to the left, and then we're going to bring that left knee over to the right. Oops, make sure you've got enough space. And then straightening the leg and roll back onto both hips. Bring that left knee up to the left. Roll, straighten. Nice breathing going on there. Crossing that knee over. You'll notice as you take the knee over to the right, you'll get that extra stretch through your left shoulder. So just try and keep your left shoulder down. Let's do 4 more. Nice. And release. Great. And then finish with coming back with your body straight on your mat. And then we're going to bend both knees. So we've got both feet on the floor and our knees are pointing up to the ceiling, shoulders rolling back and down. And just remember to have something under your head in case your chin's pointing up to the ceiling. Okay, so from here, we're going to bring, I'll do it with this left leg, bring our left leg up. So we want the knee to be above, the hip and the ankle to be in line with the knee. So we've got a little right angle here. So we're just going to do a little wake up of our core. So we're wanting to draw our belly down towards the spine and up towards the diaphragm. And then we're going to take our arms and we're going to do a little count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To breathe out. Okay, now if you find this really quite easy, you can do it by coming up, shoulders off the floor. Keep your belly drawing in. If you find that quite an ask, you can keep your head down on the floor. But the main thing to think about is drawing your belly towards your spine and up into your diaphragm. Yeah, don't just lift the head, lift your shoulders as well. So you want to have the shoulders off. But if that's a bit hard, then just keep your head down. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lovely. And then we're going to bring that leg down. change leg. Scoop and hollow. Take a breath, off we go, counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get our scoop. If you're finding that you can keep that scoop, you can come up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, don't push, don't lead with your head, so it's more just from the shoulders. So you're working the upper abdominal there. 1, 2, and you can come down and have a little rest from that. And then come up again to work again. These little cores. That's it. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lovely. And then down. Okay, and then those of you that want a little bit more challenge, you can bring both legs up. And then if you find when you bring both legs up that your tummy sticks out and it's impossible to keep your scoop, then just go back to one leg again. If you can, this is a little extra challenge, and then if you want to then come up, you'll really feel that in your core muscles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do another 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lovely. And down. So when you come down, one foot down, then the other, and just have a little stretch. You can feel your muscles working there. Give your hands a little shiggle. Great. Okay, now from there, let's just bring our feet hip distance again. And we're going to take away, if we've got something under our head, just take it away so that your head is on the floor. We're going to tuck our shoulders under, bring our feet to the floor, spread our toes, take a breath in, and then we're going to lift one vertebrae at a time. So imagine that your spine is a string of pearls in a straight line. We are lifting one pearl after the other to come up. So once you're at a certain height, then think about your feet pressing down and think about your knees moving away from the rest of your body, moving away from your hips. Think about rolling onto the tops of your shoulders a bit more. And even bringing the sternum a little bit closer to your chin. But your ribs stay soft, so you're not sticking your ribs forward, you're keeping your ribs soft. You're going to feel that in the buttocks, you'll feel it in the legs, in the inner thighs. And if that's fine for you, you can take your arms over your head. You can hold it for 2 more breaths. Really use your legs, feel the strength in your legs working. And then to come down, we're going to bring the upper back down first. So we're reversing the order, then the mid back. You might find you have to start lifting your arms now, and then you want to bring your mid back, and then the tailbone, one vertebrae at a time, comes down to the floor. And then take your arms back down. Okay, so we're going to do that another 2 times, and you can do it in your own time. Some people like to hold for longer, and some people like to rest for longer, but whenever you're ready. If you haven't already gone up, let's go again. So we're coming up, lower vertebrae first, coming up from the base of the spine, pressing our feet into the floor. And we're bringing our chin towards, the sternum towards our chin. Take the arms over the head. Watch, don't stick your ribs out, keep your ribs connecting to the spine. Working through the feet. Notice how you have to really work your buttocks, your inner thighs. And the belly scoops in. See if you can hold for another 4 breaths. If you need to come down, obviously come down, but otherwise, another 2 breaths. Okay, and then upper back, mid back, tailbone, down we go. Okay, and we're going to do it one more time. So when we're ready, spreading the feet, lifting from the base of the spine, one vertebrae at a time, rolling up, and we're moving our shoulders, coming onto as much as we can onto the tops of the shoulders, pressing through the feet. Now this time, if you like, you can see if you can stretch one leg up in the air. Lovely. And then down. Now don't worry if that's hard for you, you can just stay with both legs. But if you want to try this, stretching up through the other leg, really working the leg that's still on the floor. Keep that knee pointing up to the ceiling and down. Let's do the first leg again. Obviously, if you've had enough, then come down, but just see if you can manage this, swapping back to the second leg. And both legs down, and then we're rolling down one vertebrae at a time. Send your tailbone away, and then we're going to bring our knees towards our chest. And just gradually relaxing, letting your breath return to normal. So from there, we're going to roll over onto our side and take our belt, and if you can put it in a loop, it helps, because what we're going to do is just catch, get a pillow. You can use a pillow between your, under your head if you like. Oops. And we're going to roll onto one side. So I'm on my left side, and my right leg I'm going to bring up in the air. And then catching with a belt. So you can start off with your knee bent if that works better, and bring your arm inside your leg to the front of your body when you catch the belt, and then begin to straighten up. So it may be that your knee doesn't you don't straighten the leg all the way, but just start to straighten until you feel something happening there in the hamstrings. Using the other leg, in my case the left leg, using the toe to support you. Or you can have the knee bent if that works better for you. But even so, you're still using your little toe to give you stability. Can we take the shoulders away from the ears? Just breathing. This is really a recovery position. And if it's not feeling very comfortable for you, you can just bend the knees and do something like that. So we're looking to find a place where we can just get our breathing softening. So all the time we're breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Lovely. So we're going to change legs, so we can do it just by changing, or we can do it the dynamic way, which is to take a breath in, and then as we exhale, we're coming up to sitting, and then swinging round, swap the belt on the other leg. Again, you can have a pillow under your head if that works. Tuck our shoulders under, using our straight leg. If you need, you can just have the knee bent, but take your hand inside so that you can find a way of holding. So you're beginning to get something happening in the back of the leg. Some of you will need to stretch all the way to get anything happening. And then if you can catch your toe and begin to bring your foot down towards your head. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Shoulders away from the ears. So try and find a comfortable position for your head so that you feel quite relaxed. And you can draw your, so in my case, my left leg's up in the air, so you're slightly drawing your left hip back down towards the floor, which gives you an ability to come forward a few centimeters more. Shoulders away from the ears. Just check that your head's comfortable so that you're not getting a crink in your neck. Lovely, just a couple more breaths now. See if you can come a little bit more forward with that leg. And then again, we're going to inhale and come up into sitting, or whichever way works for you. Excellent. So now we're going to use a pillow or a bolster so that when we sit, we feel quite comfortable. What you're ideally looking for when you're sitting is to have your knees lower than your hips, ideally. And if you find that when you sit, your knees are in mid-air, you can get a couple of cushions and put one on each side, so you've got something for your knees to land on, which helps them to relax. So we're rolling our shoulders back and down, just allowing the shoulder blades to drop away from the ears. Tap the hands on the knees, so we're breathing. So again, in through the nose and out through the nose. So still the ujjayi breath. So as you breathe in, it's as if you're taking the breath in through the front of the throat. And as you breathe out, it's as if you're taking the breath out through the front of the throat. Thinking about your sit bones, notice how they descend down into your mat, and then from there you can get a feeling of lifting up through the spine. Just get as much height as you need to be comfortable, so that your groin and your knees feel as relaxed as possible. Okay, so we're going to, let's lift both arms, turn our palms, stretch the fingers away, and then as we exhale, see if we can make a big Y shape, dropping our shoulders away from the ears. keep dropping the shoulders away from the ears. And then if we can see if we can make parallel lines. That's much harder to do, so you may find it the Y is got to be where it is at the moment, but if you can do parallel lines, keep dropping your shoulders and notice how you have to really activate through your core to maintain that, dropping your shoulders away from the ears. See if you can now start to take the thumbs behind you a little bit. Breathing, shoulders dropping. You'll really feel that in your upper back. Let the back waist go back. Nicole, don't hollow. Drop the shoulders. One more breath. Lovely, and release. Okay, so if you do that properly, you really feel it in your upper back. So I'm just going to go turn to the side so that you can see that. We'll repeat that just to make sure that there's a kind of mistake which an avoidance strategy, put it that way. Yeah, let's shift our legs to the other side first. So if we give our legs a little shake, stretch them out, and then when we cross, we'll bring the other leg in front. So in my case, it's the left. Okay, so if I explain, so that when we lift up the arms, a way to avoid working in the upper back is what happens is a big hollow, and then you stick your ribs out, and then you're actually, where you're working is actually in the lower back, and what you're doing is you're overworking, exploiting the bendy bit of your back instead of working the bit of the back which we tend to forget about. So let's try that again. So shoulders down away from the ears. As we do that, just watch that we haven't stuck our tummy out and our ribs out and hollowed the back. So the back waist needs to stay back and the ribs stay connecting down to the pelvic basin. Feel how your sit bones descend, and then exhale if you can, then start to bring your palms parallel, your inner arms parallel to each other. Keep your shoulders dropping. So where I feel that is in between my shoulders. If you find it, you need to just stay with Y-shaped arms, that's absolutely fine because you're still getting all the benefits. Keep dropping the shoulders, send the fingertips up to the ceiling. Breathing, let's hold for 3 more breaths. You can take the thumbs behind you. Lovely, and release. Now, if you did it properly, you'll really be feeling it there, and it's quite a nice feeling. So, okay. So from there, let's take the soles of the feet together. Now, if you find as you're doing that you're really uncomfortable in your lower back, then just come up a little bit higher. You want to just get another cushion, another couple of cushions. You can take our belt again and bring the belt around the bottom of the feet. Pulling on our belt. Lovely and tall. Rolling our shoulders back and down. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose, lengthening up through the spine. Let's do 3 more breaths. Can you come even taller? Let your sternum lengthen, shoulders drop, crown of the head up, sit bones down, pelvic floor drawn in and up. A lot going on. Lovely. And release. Okay, now if you can stay with your legs like that, great. If you're finding it too much, then go back to cross leg. If you've got your legs like this, we're going to just take the hands either side of the knee and just see if we can bend over the knee a little bit. As we do, so I'm bending to my right to see if you can keep your left knee down. So you're not going to go very far, that's unless you're quite hyperextended. Get that feeling of rotation, and you're going to feel that in the opposite hip. Breathing. Lovely, coming up and then lift, rotate, going the other way. It's quite challenging this on the ankles and feet, so don't worry if you can only go a fraction. Great, and then release. Good, okay, then bringing our knees together. I'm going to just do a little squat. So if you're sitting on something, have your feet on the floor in front of you, and then we're just going to come up into, so our bottom's off the support. So we're into a little squat. You may find that your heels come off the floor, and that's fine. Fingertips supporting you, or if you find that the floor is far away, you can have a little something to lean on, a wee table or something like that. And then if you can, take the arms out, see if you can drop the heels. And then bend the elbows, bring the elbows in between the knees and just pushing against your knees, bring your hands together. So trying to think about bringing your sternum forward, lovely long spine. Nice, breathing. If it's quite sore on your heels, you can always pop something under your heels, like 2 books that are the same height, for instance. Or if you've got some blocks. Keep lengthening through the spine. So as you push your elbows against your knees, you can you feel lengthening, elongate from the tops of your legs to the sternum. Let's hold for 3 more breaths. Great, and release, well done. And then from there, we'll just go into kneeling. Walking back. Okay, so if you can manage to sit on your heels, then you can sit on your heels. If that's not happening, then if you've got your cushions and so on handy, you can potentially sit on them. So I know that for a lot of people, this movement, which obviously when we were kids we were able to do, but because we live in, well, we don't, those people that live in the West, we don't tend to sit very low, so we end up getting, the foot, for instance, is always at a right angle, so we never really get that chance to stretch it, so then after time we lose the chance. So there's ways around it, because you can use cushions, for instance, to put under, to put your feet on, to give you a little bit of support, and then you're not asking your body to stretch quite so much. Again, making sure that the back waist stays back. And then we're going to lift one arm and let's just lean to one side. So like just to feel the stretch up through one side. So you're projecting, in my case, that left arm, projecting it away. Ah, lovely. And then change. Stretch up through the other side. So get the height first before you go, before you lean to one side, and then that'll give you a better stretch. If you find that you want more stretch, just go a little bit lower. But keep sending the top arm away. So don't collapse the top arm. Lovely. And then release. Great. Okay. So this one now might be better if I show you sideways. We're going to start off from kneeling, and we're going to bring our right knee in front of our left knee, and then we're going to separate our heels, and ideally sitting between the feet. But if that's not happening, you can land on some blocks. So we've got our right knee above the left knee. So just sit as high as you need to do to sustain that. This is really good for getting our hips looser. So catch our feet. See if you can work your heels so that they're near in a line, almost in a line with each other. Right, okay, now that top leg, in my case the right, bring that same hand up and we're going to swing round. Fingers pointing to the ceiling, shoulders dropping back and down. And we're breathing. So now if you find that that's a little bit much to get the hand round, you can just do what you can. You can actually use a belt. To catch with the belt, just to get any kind of feeling of that. You're working at the back of the upper back. You're giving it a nice little stretch. And if you find it's impossible to get into this position, then just find any position that you can, any sitting position, and just keep working the upper body instead. Shoulders down away from the ears. Breathing. Breathing. Lovely. And then release. And then we're going to just take our arms out to the side and get as much length up through the front of the body, and then see if there's any possibility to bring your tummy and then your top ribs onto your thighs. So you're going to feel that in the glute. Lovely. And then those of you that are wanting to, you can just let your hands go wherever's comfortable and let your head drop. Lovely. And then to come up, we're lengthening out through the body. And for those of you that enjoy this stretch, it's something that you can do for longer when you're not in class. Okay, let's take the arms up. We're going to take a breath in, exhale, rolling forward onto both knees if you can, and undoing the knees. We're going to reverse that. So this time we're taking our left knee in front of our right knee, widening our heels away from each other, landing on a block if you need to. And you know, you might find that one side feels tighter than the other, so you may find that you need a little lift on one side that you don't on the other side. You want to have your knees as much as possible one over the other, sitting up nice and straight. So we've got, and again, if this position is not possible for you, you can find a position that works for you in sitting. And we're bringing the same arm as we've got the top leg, and we're going to reach round, or you can hold your belt in your top arm and just catch your belt, just to give you, begin to give you a feeling of something happening. You feel that stretch around the back of the back of your body, the upper part of your body. Now, fingers pointing up, shoulders down. Grow as tall as you can. Feel your sit bones descending and your lower abdomen drawing in and up. Shoulders down. Yeah, you can use a belt, Kirsten, if you like. Let's do 4 more breaths. Great, and release, lovely. And then ease out, and then lifting up again, open the arms out to the side. Get as much lift as we can, and we're coming forward to the tummy and the ribs starting to touch the thigh if you can. And then when you're ready, you can just take the hands to the side or forward, let the head go. So we'll just hold this for a few breaths. Lovely, and then from there just gently coming up, and we're going to unwind our legs and just have a little stretch. So let's just do a little twist then before we wind down. So we're going to have both legs straight, and again we're up on a block or a cushion if we find it that makes it more possible for us to have a nice straight spine. So we're going to bend that right knee, catching the knee, lift up, just begin to face to the right. Now, if you find it bringing your knee up there is just not happening, then you can have your knee obviously further away, and also take it away from your leg so that it gives you a bit more space to get around. So you still get that lovely openness and rotation of your trunk. But for some people, unless they bind more tightly, they don't really get anything happening. So if you are binding more tightly, just make sure that you're not doing it at the expense of a straight spine. So you have to find the right position for you. So with lovely long spine, breathing, shoulders down. So really feel that you're active in this rather than just finding the position. And then you can do this, Akim, you can use a chair if you want to do a twist on the chair with your knee, one knee up on the chair. Shoulders down. So use every exhalation to see if you can just rotate and turn a little bit more. So the pose becomes dynamic, and then relax. So if you've done it, if you've done it well, you'll feel that you need to recover your breath for a moment. If I can just point out to you something, if I do this this way, you perhaps see more easily. So it's a possibility just to kind of go into a position, but then just kind of rest in it, so it becomes quite flat. And the difference between that, which kind of looks like you're doing something, but then this, where you are actually actively working and turning. So you don't want to just hang in the position, you want to find that place where you're continually finding space to move into. So we're looking for that difference. Okay, so let's now go to the other side. So we're taking the other leg, so in my case, left leg up. So remember, you don't need to be binding all the way. You can be wherever you need to be to get your lift and turn. And if you're not sitting today, you can use standing with a chair, put your left foot on a chair and get your rotation from the chair. So we're lifting and turning. And then as you're rotating, you might think, oh, I can go a little bit more. So then you can challenge yourself by bringing your foot in a bit closer, maybe getting your elbow hooked on your knee to get more turn. But it's better not to rush into your final position, to notice what's happening with your spine. Are you still able to free the spine? And we're breathing. Shoulders away from the ears. Let's hold for 4 more breaths. Lovely. Good, and release. Excellent. So from there, we're going to head back down to the floor. So before we do that, if you maybe just have a blanket handy, because from our warm downs, we'll go into our relaxation. So that you have it within reach to save disturbing yourselves. So lying on the floor again, if you find it helps to have something under your head, then put something under the head. And we're going to bring the right ankle in front of our left knee and just bring our left knee towards us. You might find it slightly easier because we've been already working in the glutes. So you might find it easier than normal. So if you find that it's not working to catch around the outside of your knee, you can always catch the shin, or indeed you can use your belt So you're bringing the right arm inside between the legs, and then you can use your belt to pull your knee forward. Keep your shoulders tucked under, neck nice and long. Just enjoying that lovely glute stretch, softening into it. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Nice, and then we'll change to the other side. So we're bringing our left ankle in front of right knee. The left hand goes in between the gap between the knees, and again use your belt if that helps, or catch around your shin or your thigh. Just softening and breathing into that left glute stretch. You might find it feels easier, or what I mean to say is you can do it with more ease, because we have been working on that area today. So we're breathing, softening the breath, softening the face. Keep that ujjayi breath going in through the front of the throat, out through the front of the throat. Nice, and unwinding from that. Hands on the floor, take our knees slightly forward, let our knees go towards the right. Lean into your left side. If your knees aren't landing all the way, you can pop something underneath your knees. But we're getting a little ring of the spine. So your knees are going to the right, meanwhile your shoulders and from the waist is rotating to the left. Breathing. Lovely, and then inhale, bring your knees back, swing them the other way, off now to the left. You can swap your blocks if you were using a block to put your blocks under the knees going to the left. And this time we rotate into the right shoulder. So we're rotating from the waist to the shoulder, bringing the spine, upper body going to the right, the lower body going to the left. Great, and then take a deep breath, bringing your legs back to center. And we're going to go into our relaxation. So So we are lying in a straight line. We can use our blanket. Just allowing the feet, allowing the toes to fall away from the heels. So your thighs then also fall away. They're rolling outward. The shoulders tucked under. And again, make sure that you've got something under your head if you need that. How do you know if you need it? Well, if you find it when you lie down that you've got a kind of curve in the neck and your chin's in the air, then if you put a pillow under your head, that helps to straighten out your spine, the cervical spine, and it brings the chin more in parallel with the side wall rather than pointing to the ceiling. So then, if you like, you can bring your hands onto your belly. Just notice the rise and fall of the breath. Allowing the lower jaw to fall away from the upper jaw. Lovely, and then gently bringing the awareness to your body, taking a deep breath, moving your fingers and toes, stretching your arms and legs. We're just going to roll on to one side. Taking a moment to gather ourselves as we then come into a position to finish sitting or lovely. Thank you all very much.